This documentary is a tribute to the formation, growth, and sustenance of National Institute of Biomedical Genomics, NIBMG, the only institute devoted to genomics research in India, through the eyes of a bunch of enthusiastic students of this unique institute. Our documentary should not be taken as an official narrative from the competent authorities of the institute, and hence liberties taken to the prioritization of coincidence among numerous others are to be accepted in good humor. Viewers are requested to feel the pulse of the nostalgia that seeps through the hearts of every member of NIBMG in celebrating its 10th year.
The Institute of Biomedical Genomics is one of the newer institutes of the Department of Biotechnology located in Kalyani, West Bengal. We started our operations around the middle of 2010. We are engaged in generating genomic evidence for accelerating improvement in human health and disease. The major areas of our work pertain to cancer but sweeps across other chronic and infectious diseases. We are also engaged in population and statistical genomics research.
I really like NIBMG because and I'm proud that I'm part of the development, and from the beginning I'm here. So I really like it here, and I think people are very cordial in nature and very approachable. I like the way we interact with everyone and the way we conduct research.
I got to know about NIBMG when I was in Bangalore. From there I got to know that NIBMG is the only one genomic institute in this country. So I thought if I get an opportunity to go there and work there and give my contribution, that will be a great opportunity for me. So the facilities which I am getting here are quite good, and the nature of the people and the atmosphere also of Kalyani, of Kolkata city is very nice. So I quite like this place. Hi Kamini. I got to know that you are the initial students of NIBMG. So how it all started?
You mean NIBMG? It's quite a large question to answer. Let's ask Vivian.
So in 2009, one morning, early in the morning, around 7:30 or so, the Secretary of the Department of Biotechnology, Dr. M.K. Bhan, I got a call from him, and he essentially narrated what he had heard in the Science Congress and subsequent discussions in the Department of Biotechnology, and said that did I have any ideas about making a new institute. So this was, I was just waking up, got up from bed and answered his phone call, so to say. And I told Dr. Bhan, I'm not going to shoot from the hip. Give me a day and I'll come up with something. So he said, well, write me a paragraph about what ideas you have and send it to me. So it started with one paragraph that day, and eventually a 210-page document was written. And then this 200-page document became the basis of this institute. So that's how the institute started, and this was in 2009 that we were having these phone calls, and then there were a series of consultations, one of which was held in the US in Johns Hopkins. And Dr. Bhan and I, we went over. There were a bunch of people from NIH and other places who came over, and we projected to them this idea. And they also were okay with this idea. As a matter of fact, they said, this is a fantastic idea and India should go ahead. And that's how we came back, and eventually it got approved by the Department of Biotechnology. So that's how it was formed. Formation of the institute was helped by many people. Dr. Bhan was, of course, one of the major drivers of how this institute needs to be formulated, established, etc. There was the then nodal officer, Mr. Sinha, who was Sukhdev Sinha, who was very instrumental, and we worked together in order to prepare these documents, get them approved by various agencies of the Government of India. And so it was walking together for about a year and a half until this institution was formally established and formally approved by the Government of India. The one thing that was very clear to me is that buildings take a long time to come up, and if I was going to wait for buildings to come up and then start the institute, it would be a waste of time on my part. So we needed an interim space for establishment of the institute to start the work, etc. Some lucky things happened at that time. The International Cancer Genome Consortium project was also approved by the Government of India, and I was also steering that project, and eventually the Government of India asked me to spearhead that project, and it was going to be the first project that the National Institute of Biomedical Genomics would also initiate. We went to Government of West Bengal, and like I said, they gave us, showed us a few pieces of land, and this was the one that was of choice because this was 30 acres of land. And so we felt that we didn't know how much money the Government of West Bengal would charge, and they gave it to us at a cost of 1 rupee. So essentially, we got this land free of cost. And then we needed space because, like I said, that I didn't want to start an institution until the buildings came up. And so I again negotiated with the Government of West Bengal, and they said, well, we do have some space on the top floor of the TB sanitarium, or Netaji Subhash sanitarium as it is called. So go and take a look. So that was an ordeal. So I came one day, went up to the top floor and cried. Then I was kind of lucky that Dr. Arindam Moitra, who actually came. So Arindam and I, we worked very hard to clean up and then establish the International Cancer Genome Consortium labs. They had given us one wing of the floor, so we got that cleaned up, labs established, some of the rooms refurbished so that some faculty members could be recruited and we could find place for them. We were going to start with PhD students, so we needed a classroom, we found a classroom, we needed administration, so they had to be accommodated. So they gave us the space for 5 years. And we were supposed to build our own campus within 5 years and move out from there in 5 years. Well, that 5 years took about 8 years, but and they didn't shoo us out. Then we slowly built our own campus and have moved on. Time to start thinking about how to coalesce science in the institute. In all of these 4 focal areas, we have, in a period of, this is our 10th year, in a period of 10 years, we have published well. The country knows us now. We are also known internationally. From the beginning, we have engaged with international organizations such as the European Bioinformatics Institute. We have had collaborations with many organizations and institutions in the United States. So it was, the international flavor was there in the institute right from the beginning. And that actually helped us make ourselves known, and today we have even students come into the institute doing projects with us from outside of India, which is really nice.
We came to NIBMG this summer to do an internship from Chicago, so we're a long way from home, but it's been really cool to have this experience.
Yeah, I think part of what makes NIBMG so special is the people that we've interacted here have all been super amazing, and I think it really makes being, it's like a home away from home. I think the people have made this really special for us, especially being, across, we left our country and came to India, which neither of us have ever visited before, and just everyone we've interacted with, I feel like we've really made friends that will last a lifetime.
Our first Foundation Day lecture was given by Dr. Eric Green, who had just assumed around that time the directorship of the National Human Genome Research Institute of the US National Institutes of Health. Because we were working on cancer, one of the dreams that I've had is to get, the 2 big cancer genes are BRCA1 and BRCA2. And the discoverer of BRCA1, I had known her for a long period of time. Her name is Mary Claire King. We had sort of the same guru at some point of time. So I actually wanted her to come in, and also, the other gene is BRCA2, and I knew who discovered that, Mike Stratton, and Mike Stratton was with the Wellcome Trust Sanger Institute. So I had thought that, we should bring them both in, and so we were lucky. Our Foundation Day lectures have been not just for the institute. We hold these Foundation Day lectures in the city of Calcutta, and many people have heard our Foundation Day lectures given by these stellar scientists, genome scientists who are spread all over the world. We have 6 institutions as a collaboration. One of the things that we are doing right now is to undertake research that facilitates systems medicine. We all came together and started this whole enterprise called Research on Systems Medicine Cluster, and that has been very well funded, and we've gotten some very good results already in collaboration with scientists of these institutions. Over a period of time, we've also earned enough reputation that the Department of Biotechnology has actually funded us to become the National Genomics Core. This whole area is becoming a hub, and we hope that in the years to come it will become very vibrant. So this is essentially how the academic activities in the institute have proliferated. We started with a very few number of people, but now I think the institute, I lost count, the institute probably has about 150 members now. Our administration is very slim, and it should remain like that. the academic members, aside from the faculty members, our student strength has grown. We have a vibrant PhD program now. The students are quite happy in the hostel as far as I can tell, but I suppose the students will narrate their own experience of their hostel life. The history is short, but it's been impactful on science, and only the years to come, the next 10 years, will say where we are going, what our trajectory is, and whether the government has actually spent the money in an appropriate way to impact on health and disease of humans, taking their genomes into account. So that's what biomedical genomics stands for. So right from the beginning, we started negotiating with the largest and the most renowned tertiary care hospital in the city, called the SSKM Hospital, earlier known as the PG Hospital. The director of the hospital provided us with infrastructure and space. He actually provided us with space in the PG Polyclinic, a whole floor, and we are all set up there. We work together with doctors in the PG hospital and of other hospitals, and we now have a vibrant collaboration with doctors in the city. So we initiated a cohort study and started with 20,000 individuals and has now grown to 40,000 individuals. It was established in 2010, and we hope that this cohort can be sustained for a long time for us to gain histories of human health and disease. Started organizing winter schools and workshops, etc. Each year we hold, every couple of months we hold both in the wet lab and in the dry lab. Lots of people in the country, junior faculty level, PhD students, postdocs, they have greatly benefited from these. We also have a vibrant outreach program right from the beginning. We work with the Jagdish Bose National Science Talent Search, and through them we brought in school students. We gave them examples of why genomics is exciting, how genomics is impacting on lives, etc. We also have fun, right? So we have each year a retreat where we all go out, and it's a combination of both fun and academics. Few students are chosen, they give lectures, and we have lots of fun. We go out of the city and go somewhere else and enjoy with our students and us together. We also organize other kinds of sports events, carom tournaments, cricket tournaments. The institute was actually opened formally by Dr. Harshavardhan, and he was there in the institute. He spent a whole day in the institute. He spent time in the lab. Simultaneously with the formation of the institute, we've also built some sculptures within the institute. One of the cultures that we have built is each time we have a dignitary or a visitor of renown visit us, we like to have our campus green. So ever since the institute was formed, even when we were in the temporary place in the national in the TB hospital in Taji Subhash Sanitarium, we had people who planted saplings for us. Those saplings are all preserved, and we are now replanting those saplings on our main campus. So we hope that this culture will remain. The other culture that we have promoted in the institute is to have named lectures in the institute. One of the persons who not only was influential in getting this institution approved, but also in the promotion of genomics activities, especially human genetics activities in the country, was Obaid Siddiqui. He passed away under some unfortunate circumstances, and now we have a memorial oration in his name, the Obaid Siddiqui Memorial Oration. We also have other kinds of named lectures, such as we've instituted a celebration of science lecture series. The first lecture in that series was given by Professor C.N.R. Rao, and we continue to do that. It's several celebration of science lectures are delivered each year, and so it's that has become a part of the culture of the institute. As you come into the institute, you see the discoverers of the double helix. They actually greet you. The get-up of this was done by the National Council for Science Museums. We wanted somebody to come and open the exhibits hall, and we were lucky that Dr. Harold Varmus, who was a former director of the U.S. National Institutes of Health and a Nobel laureate, came and opened the hall for us. So this is called the Human Genome Hall, and it was inaugurated by Harold Varmus on November 11, 2018. As you enter the hall, essentially the Human Genome Exhibits Hall, what you can see here is that there are various kinds of panels that start with history and end with an application of DNA fingerprinting in the detection of crime. And through the museum, we have lots of things. We have lots of displays, interactive sessions that you can do, and in the process learn. So you go through the exhibits hall and you end up with a quiz where you are tested, if you really want to get yourself tested. You are tested for various kinds of things that you have seen and read in the exhibits hall. There is a video on human evolution that talks about genomic reconstruction of human evolution. So that's what the Human Genome Exhibits Hall is all about.
Before I was in human genetics unit. I was working there, and I joined there in 1995 and I joined in this institute in 2010. That means I spent 15 years over there. And during that time, I used to keep thinking, if I would get an opportunity to work in this institute, I'll just move from here. And then all of a sudden, one day, Professor Bhujandar, we used to have in the morning tea and the evening tea outside of it's towards the back of the department, where there was a staircase landing. We all would gather over there, have tea and coffee and discuss over that. While having coffee one day, Partha mentioned that, why don't you apply? And I was so excited and asked him, am I eligible to apply for there? And why not? And he just went ahead and applied. And then I came here. that was a big challenge because when we were there in the TB hospital, perched up on the TB hospital, I was getting constantly calls from the Department of Health that to vacate the space because it's been long years that we've spent over there, and they were wanting that space to start that institute called the Institute of Public Health. And while we were there, we had already given them space to start, but they wanted the entire space to make the institute a full-fledged institute. And that was an immense pressure. And so I was getting calls, and I was also discussing with Patala what we could do. Patala said that now this is the time that I think we should move. Let's just start doing it. So that was a big challenge. We had to organize packers, movers, dismantle all those established labs, particularly the genomics facility, machines, and all the general labs, and so many things to organize. A lot of things had to be thought about. Students had already moved a year before we moved in here. At least that part was taken care of. They were all settled down by the time we moved away. And then things happened, fell in place. We had the entire team of faculty members and staff and students. Everybody put in their part in the shifting, and it was actually fun then. I think I came last to the building. When the entire shifting was done, the faculty members moved away, and I couldn't leave the director's office and come. It was really fun. I remember one day, I think it was about 7:30, and people were the whole day, everybody worked very hard for the shifting, and in the evening everybody was famished. So I asked, should we organize some snack? In the evening, Shuji got some muri. We had that muri baka. Those are the very memorable parts of the shifting. And then everything is now in place. When I came over here, I found the students. I just love the students over here. They are so active and so lively and taking part in all kinds of activities of the institute, apart from the academics. So this institute, I think, is unique.
So I came first time I came to NIBMG, it was in 2015 for that NER workshop, and there I came and then I got to know about more about the NGS. So then I joined formally for as an RA. It has a very good facilities, and with these facilities I get a chance to learn more about this high throughput sequencing, and particularly the single cell sequencing now. And with this I got also to learn how this high throughput sequencing help in the field of genomic study, and how this genomics can help in understanding the basis of complex diseases like cancer.
टेक्निक्स में रिसर्च करने वाला ये देश का अग्रणी संस्थान है, और चूंकि मैं स्वयं एक बायोइन्फॉर्मेटिशियन हूँ, तो मुझे लगता है कि इससे बेहतर संस्थान पूरे देश में और कहीं हो ही नहीं सकता। और विगत 2 वर्षों के अनुभव के आधार पर मैं ये कह सकता हूँ कि जीनोमिक्स में रिसर्च करने के लिए यहाँ पर अपार संभावनाएं हैं, नवाचार के लिए अपार संभावनाएं हैं, और बहरहाल मैं खुद बहुत एक्साइटेड हूँ, खुश हूँ कि 10वें स्थापना दिवस समारोह में शामिल हूँ।
NIBMG is one of the institutes wherein for the first time it represents the India in the project called this International Cancer Genome Consortium, because so far this Human Genome Project or HARMAP project, many projects, India doesn't participate in that. For the first time, NIBMG represented India, and this is whole genome sequencing of this oral squamous cell carcinoma, especially this GGO buccal, and it was published in Nature Communications. If I come here, I can expose to this genomics and this also this data analysis and other. So I am very much interested in this institute. So far it's going fine. So I'm really enjoying this environment because the campus is pretty cool, and yeah, I'm really enjoying this environment.
Actually, in recent years, validation of molecular clocks with computational tools has become very important in researches, and NIBMG is the only Indian institute which offers this facility to each and every student. And moreover, this is a very new institute with mostly new faculties and new research ideas. And so, from my MSc days, I thought to join this institute in my PhD.
This is quite accidental because I was never planned for this, but when this offer came, I have been thinking that whatever we do it in the bench needs to be taken to the bedside, and that is only possible if you really want to do clinical research. This is an institute where you have large collaborations with the clinicians, and you have a direct contact with the patients and the clinicians, which is actually a gold mine for addressing and validations of your research hypothesis. This is the right place where if you can really frame your research questions properly, you can get immediate answers. So that was some motivations that were brought. We have the building. Now we have recently moved here, so there is infrastructure, there is talent in the students, in the faculty. But so this is essentially, if you see that some of your hypotheses coming from the patient side can be validated with a little bit of biology, then actually you can complete the cycle. And you can say that, a lot of times we go in other way around. So we test it in cells, animals, and then try to go into humans. But here you are directly getting the leads from the human patients and then trying to validate it and see that this is basically the mechanism of the association, and that becomes a translation. So, and now the whole country is looking for some translational research, and I think Institute has immense scope to translate some of the findings into a real diagnostics or real predictive signatures, which will be really useful. Coming back to the point is, so we are well poised in an innings to now deliver to the society. And I can see that in next 10 years we are going to achieve some of those. It's a good thing that, if we can attract the school kids to make them aware of it. Already we have summer training, we have short-term training and other things. So I'm trying to encourage, and we are also having this kind of small workshops when students and college students, they are coming from different universities and colleges, and then expose them to this new area of biomedical genomics. So this is a thing that we can collectively think how we can somehow make them aware from the beginning. The wonderful thing that Patula has made here is that museum. This is something, if we can somehow have a structured program so the kids can come, have a look at it. Just going to the museum for one afternoon will make them attracted and aware of this, what is basically the biomedical genomics concept. Talent, when I mean, it's not only in academics. You have talents in every sector of life. Life is never complete in one sector, right? So, but I think the students are very talented. That I figured in last 8-9 months. Since we are small, we still have a very, very family concept here, and we want to retain that. We are trying to expand, but at the same time, I just don't want to lose out the family concept, right? So that is possible. The culture of having a common lab is also something good. Once you are under the same roof and you're working together, I think this senior, junior, this interaction is also very helpful. This is something I think is going to help us to train the students, to make them more interactive. So all the NIBMGians, I have been telling you that have confidence that we can do it. So this is very important, that self-confidence, don't become overconfident. It's a self-confidence which will actually do wonder. And that's one thing. Little bit of discipline is necessary in any, be it sports, academics, everywhere. discipline, ethics, everything is important. We do those things, I think we can actually achieve the goal. And then you need to dream. Bhatsuda is the right example. You have to dream. If you don't dream, you don't really achieve it. So you need to have a vision, and you have to, everybody. Again, I don't discriminate between the students, faculty or staff. Everybody in their workplace, they should dream, they should have a vision, and they should have a goal to achieve it. And have the self-confidence that this is the human psychology is. If we desperately want something, we'll definitely